There are many kinds of attractive people in the world. Some have charm, others have beauty. Some have power. But the INFJ personality type carries a different kind of appeal, something more subtle, more emotional, and often more spiritual. It's the kind of attraction that sneaks up on you, builds slowly, and leaves a deep impression. You might not even realize you're drawn to them at first, but once you connect, it can feel like they truly see into your soul. INFJs are the rarest of the 16 Myers-Briggs personality types. They make up less than 2% of the population. That alone gives them a kind of intrigue, but it's not just about being rare. It's about how they move through the world. They are often quiet, reserved, and soft-spoken, but they carry with them a depth that makes people feel curious and pulled in. What makes INFJs so attractive isn't about loud presence or flashy charm. It's their insight, emotional intelligence, deep values, and quiet intensity. They can be warm and empathetic, while also feeling like a mystery you want to solve. They are compassionate, yet strong. Peaceful, yet passionate. They seem to hold a mirror to the people around them, making others feel both safe and challenged at the same time. In this video, we are going to explore 6 key reasons why INFJs are often seen as incredibly attractive. Not just romantically, but emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. These traits can make INFJs hard to forget. Whether you're an INFJ yourself or you've ever been drawn to one, this will give you a deeper understanding of why people are so magnetized by this rare type. We'll also touch on how INFJs can sometimes struggle with the very same qualities that make them appealing. But first, let's dive into the core traits that make them so compelling to be around. Reason number 1. Depth of insight and intuition. One of the most powerful things about INFJs is their intuitive understanding of people and situations. This is not just a guessing game or a hunch. It's a deep natural ability to read between the lines. INFJs often pick up on emotions, intentions, and hidden motives without needing to be told anything outright. They can walk into a room and feel the emotional energy almost instantly. This makes them excellent at understanding others, especially on a level that feels emotional or even spiritual. Most people go through life trying to be seen, heard, and understood. When someone finally comes along who actually gets you, without you having to explain everything, it feels like magic. That's what INFJs offer. Their ability to tune into the emotional atmosphere, to pick up on subtle cues, and to connect dots that others miss makes people feel incredibly drawn to them. Being with an INFJ can feel like being understood for the first time. Their inner world is also rich and deep. INFJs are not satisfied with surface-level thinking. They often think about the meaning behind everything, why things happen, what people are really feeling, what a conversation really meant. This depth of processing gives them insight not just into others, but into life itself. Conversations with INFJs can be deeply meaningful because they want to explore big ideas, not just small talk. This kind of insight is attractive because it makes the INFJ feel like someone who holds secrets about the world. People are drawn to that, especially those who crave deeper connections. You might not understand why you feel so seen around them, but you'll definitely feel it. The ability to read others can also be disarming. It breaks down walls and defenses. When you're around someone who sees the real you, your fears, your hopes, your pain, it's hard not to feel close to them. That closeness is what makes INFJs so compelling. They invite people in without trying, and once they do, it can feel impossible to let go. Reason number 2, authenticity and integrity. In a world full of people trying to impress, manipulate, or play social games, the INFJ's quiet honesty stands out. They're not interested in pretending to be something they're not. INFJs place a high value on being true to themselves. Their lives are guided by inner values and personal ethics, and they often refuse to bend those just to fit in or be liked. This gives them a kind of moral clarity that's hard to ignore. Even if they don't speak up loudly, you can sense that INFJs are grounded in something real. They live with intention. When they speak, it usually comes from a place of truth. That makes others trust them quickly. You know they mean what they say. You know they're not playing you. That alone is an attractive quality in today's fast-moving, superficial world. INFJs are also not afraid of being different. If something doesn't feel right to them, they'll walk away. If a situation goes against their values, they'll stand alone rather than follow the crowd. This kind of self-respect is quietly powerful. It shows confidence, not the loud kind, but the kind rooted in self-knowledge. Another thing that draws people to INFJs is their emotional honesty. While they may not open up right away, when they do, it's all. They're not interested in fake closeness or forced vulnerability. If they share something personal, it's because they've thought about it and decided it matters. That kind of raw, thoughtful honesty builds trust fast. It also invites others to let their guard down. People often say that INFJs feel safe. That safety doesn't come from being soft or passive. It comes from knowing that what you see is what you get. You don't have to guess where they stand. You don't have to wonder if they're hiding something. That kind of emotional safety is rare and incredibly attractive. Finally, their sense of integrity shows in how they treat others. They usually try to act with kindness, fairness, and respect. Even when they disagree with someone, they aim to stay true to their values. That balance of strength and kindness makes them feel solid, like someone you can count on, someone you'd want in your corner. Reason number 3, empathy and emotional attunement. INFJs are often described as empaths, and for good reason. They don't just listen to people, they feel them. When someone is sad, stressed, or overwhelmed, the INFJ doesn't just hear the words. They absorb the emotional energy and feel it almost as if it were their own. This deep emotional sensitivity makes them some of the most compassionate people you'll ever meet. People are naturally drawn to someone who seems to understand them without judgment. INFJs create emotional safety. They don't rush to fix things or give advice. They allow people to just be. If someone's struggling, the INFJ holds space for it. They ask thoughtful questions. They reflect back feelings. They make others feel like their emotions are valid, even if those feelings are messy or confusing. This is powerful because most people go through life not feeling fully seen or heard. They might have friends, co-workers, or family members, but few truly get them on an emotional level. When an INFJ walks into their life, it can feel like they've finally found someone who understands the language of their soul. That emotional connection can be life-changing. INFJs are also skilled at nonverbal communication. They notice body language, tone of voice, and small shifts in mood. They often pick up when something is off before a word is spoken. This ability makes others feel cared for in ways that are hard to explain. It's not just about what INFJs say, it's about how they show up, how they listen, and how they respond with presence and patience. Because of this, people often confide in INFJs. Strangers tell them personal stories. Friends turn to them during emotional crises. It's not because INFJs try to play therapist, it's because they naturally create a safe emotional space. People leave conversations with them feeling lighter, understood, and more connected to themselves. What makes this trait even more attractive is that it's genuine. INFJs don't use their empathy to manipulate or gain favor. It comes from a sincere desire to help, to ease suffering, and to build real human connection. Their kindness isn't performative, it's instinctive. And in a world where so many people feel unseen, that kind of heart is magnetic. Reason number 4. Passion, vision, and purpose. There's a fire that burns inside the INFJ, and though it's not always visible on the outside, It's very real. INFJs are idealists at heart. They dream about a better world and they want to make it happen. Whether it's through writing, art, teaching, activism, or simply how they live their lives, INFJs are driven by a sense of purpose. This inner mission gives their lives meaning, and that passion is one of the reasons they stand out. People are drawn to passion, not just loud excitement, but deep conviction. INFJs don't chase trends or do things for clout. They invest in ideas that matter to them. They often have big visions about love, justice, creativity, or personal growth. When they talk about the things that move them, you can feel their intensity. Their eyes light up. Their words carry weight. And even if you don't share the same passion, you can't help but be inspired by the way they care. That purpose-driven energy is deeply attractive. It shows that they're not just drifting through life, they're aiming for something. It also means that when they care about you, it's with the same intensity. They want to build something meaningful. They aren't interested in surface-level relationships or casual connections without substance. They want to grow with you, to explore life's deeper meaning, and to share something real. INFJs are also creative thinkers. Their inner world is full of ideas, possibilities, and dreams. They might be drawn to music, poetry, design, psychology, or philosophy, not for status, but because these subjects connect with their inner world. Their creative side isn't just a hobby, it's part of who they are. And for many people, that creative spark is extremely attractive. There's something powerful about being close to someone with a clear sense of direction. It makes you want to find your own path too. INFJs inspire people to dream bigger, to ask deeper questions, and to live with more honesty and heart. That kind of inspiration creates connection. It pulls people in, not through charm or manipulation, but through sincerity and soul. Even when INFJs are quiet about their goals, that fire is still there. You can feel it. And once you do, it becomes clear why people are so magnetized by them. There's nothing louder than quiet purpose, and the INFJ carries that every day. Reason number 5, loyalty, commitment, and relationship depth. One of the most powerful traits of an INFJ is how deeply they commit once they feel emotionally safe. They may take time to open up, but once they do, they are fiercely loyal. INFJs don't take relationships lightly. Whether it's a friendship, a romantic bond, or a family connection, they bring their whole heart into it. This loyalty shows in many ways. INFJs remember the small things. They follow through on promises. They stick around when things get tough. They ask how you're really doing, and they actually listen. They don't run when there's conflict or discomfort. Instead, they try to understand and work through it. That kind of consistency builds strong, lasting trust. In a time where many relationships feel disposable, INFJs stand out. They are not looking for quantity, they want quality. They would rather have one real connection than 10 shallow ones. And that preference for depth makes their relationships intense, emotional, and unforgettable. Their commitment doesn't just mean staying physically present. INFJs invest emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. They want to grow together. They'll support your dreams, or means challenge your fears, and stand by you when things fall apart. That level of devotion is rare and deeply attractive to those looking for something real. They also have high standards for who they let into their inner world. INFJs might be friendly to many people, but only a few ever see their full, vulnerable side. So when an INFJ chooses to open up to you, it feels special. It means you've earned their trust, and they don't give that lightly. Knowing that makes people feel valued in a way that's hard to describe. There's also a calming quality to being with someone who's not constantly second-guessing or keeping score. INFJs don't play games. When they love deeply. When they care, they show up. And even if they're hurt, they try to respond with grace rather than revenge. This kind of emotional maturity and consistency creates a relationship space that feels safe, meaningful, and intimate. It allows others to relax, be themselves, and go deeper than they might with other types. That's why INFJs are often described as unforgettable partners or best friends. Once they're in your life, it's hard to imagine how you ever lived without them. Reason number 6, mysterious energy and inner complexity. There's something about INFJs that's hard to put into words. Even people who are close to them often say things like, "There's always more to them," or "I feel like I've only scratched the surface." That's because INFJs naturally carry a sense of mystery. It's not forced or calculated. It's just part of who they are. They don't share everything at once. They might be warm and kind on the outside, but their thoughts run deep, so deep that they often keep much of it to themselves. INFJs think and feel a lot more than they express. They spend time analyzing, reflecting, and questioning life. This means there's always something beneath the surface, something others want to understand, but may never fully reach. This mysterious energy can be incredibly attractive. It keeps people curious. You feel like you're on a journey of discovery when you're close to an INFJ. You want to learn more, get closer, and peel back the layers. But even as you do, there's always a sense that they hold something private, something sacred. That balance between openness and privacy creates tension, and tension creates magnetism. INFJs also tend to observe more than they speak. In group settings, they often hang back and watch. They're paying attention to what's said and what's not said. When they finally do speak, it usually carries weight. People listen because they know the INFJ has been thinking, not just reacting. That presence, quiet, thoughtful, slightly removed, feels intriguing to those who are used to constant noise and surface chatter. Another layer of their mystery comes from the way INFJs can be both strong and soft at the same time. They might be gentle in their words, yet firm in their values. They can be romantic, yet deeply independent. They crave connection, but also solitude. These seeming contradictions make them feel complex, even paradoxical. And complexity, when it's rooted in sincerity, is deeply attractive. People are drawn to what they can't fully understand. And with INFJs, that intrigue never really goes away. Even after years of knowing them, you might still be surprised by their thoughts, their dreams, or the way they see the world. That emotional depth and intellectual complexity creates a kind of pull that doesn't fade. It grows stronger the more time you spend with them. Potential pitfalls and balance. While the traits that make INFJs attractive are powerful, they also come with challenges. It's important to understand that INFJs aren't perfect. In fact, many of the qualities people love about them are tied to struggles they have to manage carefully. For example, their deep empathy can become overwhelming. INFJs often absorb the emotions of others so strongly that they lose track of their own feelings. They may struggle with emotional burnout, especially if they're constantly supporting others without having space to recharge. This can lead to sudden withdrawal, where they disappear for a while, not because they don't care, but because they're emotionally drained. Their high standards and idealism, while admirable, can also lead to disappointment. INFJs have strong visions of how relationships should feel, how people should act, and how life should go. When reality doesn't match those inner visions, they may feel disillusioned or discouraged. They can also be too hard on themselves when they fall short of their own ideals. Another common challenge is their tendency to keep emotions inside. Because INFJs often feel deeply, but don't always express it, others may misread them as distant or indifferent. In truth, they may be overwhelmed or afraid of being misunderstood. This emotional restraint can create gaps in communication, especially with people who need more visible expressions of feeling. There's also a danger in how much INFJs want to help others. Their nurturing nature makes them prone to rescuing people or taking on emotional labor that doesn't belong to them. This can attract those who want to be saved, leading to one-sided or draining relationships. If INFJs aren't careful, they can lose themselves in the process of trying to help others heal. But when INFJs learn to set boundaries, honor their need for solitude, and express their own needs clearly, they become even more powerful. Their attractive qualities shine brighter when they are grounded in self-awareness. That balance between caring for others and caring for themselves is what makes them truly magnetic, not just mysterious or emotionally deep, but emotionally strong. So what makes the INFJ so attractive? It's not about style, status, or charm. It's something deeper. Their intuitive insight, strong values, emotional sensitivity, personal vision, loyal nature, and inner mystery create a rare combination of traits that stand out in today's fast-paced world. People are drawn to INFJs because they offer what many are secretly looking for: depth, meaning, connection, and emotional truth. They don't chase attention, but they earn it. They don't demand love, but they inspire it. And once you've connected with an INFJ, it's hard to forget the experience. They leave a mark, not just on your memory, but on your heart. If you're an INFJ, this video is a reminder of your value. Your way of seeing the world is a gift. Your presence brings comfort, curiosity, and calm. And if you're not an INFJ, but have one in your life, take a moment to appreciate just how rare and special that connection really is. Every personality type has strengths, but INFJs bring something truly unique. They show us what it means to live with meaning, to connect with compassion, and to love with integrity. If this resonated with you, take a moment to reflect. Maybe you see yourself in some of these traits. Maybe you've felt this kind of connection with someone before. INFJs may be rare, but their impact is lasting. And when you experience it, you'll understand why their quiet presence is so unforgettable.